Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. Somebody's got to say it. I'm your host, Lavonda, and today I'm going to be talking about life gone life. With everything that's going on in the world today, some people may not be able to help the things that they're dealing with or going through. But then there are those that can do something about the situation that they're in. Everything depends on the choices that you make. We don't really have to stay in the situations that we're in. You can do something about it if you really want to change. 3 John chapter 1, verse 2, the Lord tells us that he wants us to prosper and be in health, even as our soul prospers. So we have to take the word of God and apply it to our life. And we can deal with the things in life when life starts lifing. The first thing I want to talk about is people that like to play the blame game. It's time out to stop blaming everybody for everything that you're going through. Everybody at some point in their life have been hurt, even as a child. Me, for example, I've been abused, molested, raped, been in gangs, sold drugs, been a drug addict, jail, and a whole lot of other things. Yes, I have a testimony. But guess what? I used to be mad, bitter, and angry about everything I went through because I wanted to know why me. But as I got older and decided I couldn't let that keep killing me on the inside, because the more I held on to it, the more I was dying. I was giving people and situations and things power over my life. But then I made a choice. When life started lifing, I decided that I wanted better. I decided that I didn't want to hold on to any of that anymore. So I had to make a change. But you know what? The best change I ever made was giving my life to God. Once I done that, I began to see things in my life line up. Because I start understanding. The things happened to me because the devil knew my identity and he wanted to steal it from me. He never wanted me to operate in who God wanted me to be. He never wanted me to have the things that God said that I could have. God's promises toward us are yes and amen. But they come at a cost. You can't expect things to happen for you when you keep making dumb decisions. Like I said, the choices that we make depends on how life gonna life with us. There's so many people so quick to say, I don't have nobody there for me, or every time I'm going through something, ain't nobody there for me. God is always there for you. You just don't want to sit down, take time to get a closer walk with him so that he can lead and guide you to where he wants you to be. It's time out for blaming other people for the situations that you're in and the decisions that you make. You don't have to stay in the position that you're in. It's a choice. And you don't have to keep using people to get money or to pay your bills or do this or do that. You can get up and go get a job so that you can change the situation that you're in. And don't say that there are no jobs, because temporary services are hiring all the time. You just got to decide, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to put a resume together. I'm going to apply for some jobs. And I'm believing that I'm trusting God that this job going to come through for me. And when you say it, stand on that. Just because 1, 2, 3 people said no, somewhere down the line, if you keep trusting God, somebody's going to give you a yes. Life is going to life. And also, it's time out for mothers to stop trying to shift your responsibilities because you don't want to handle it. Electronics cannot raise your kids. Stop allowing games and electronics to raise your kids because you don't want to deal with them. Because you're saying, I'm stressed out. I'm tired. I don't feel like this. I don't feel like that. Or what happened to the grandmothers of old when you could just drop your kids off? Whoever told y'all that, it was a lie. Because I am 57 years old. And not once did my grandmother or my mother ever allow me, because I wanted a life, I want to live, to just go over there and drop my kids off and say, I'll be back. Or I need a break. No. They made us take our responsibility because they knew that as we got older and wiser, life was going to life. And they wanted us to take our responsibilities now. We didn't ship our kids off to somebody because we didn't want to be bothered. No. I could tell you the first thing that ever broke me from that mindset in my life was when I had my first daughter and I want to go to the club. Yes, I said club. Because truth be told, I used to open up some clubs and close them down. And I asked my mama, could she watch my child while I go to the store? You know what she said? What store you going to that you can't take your child to? That broke me right out. I knew not to try that again because she wasn't going. And I thank God that she did that. Because it made me do what I had to do as a mother and take care of my own responsibilities, not pass them on to somebody else because I didn't feel like doing it, or I feel like I needed a mental break, or I needed to do this or I needed to do that. They have fathers. Make the men take responsibility if you feel like you need a break. But don't try to stop other people from living their life or having a life, especially after they've raised their own kids, and try to guilt trip them into doing what you want them to do because of the choices that you make. Again, life gon' life. And another thing, when you know you have small children, of course you're going to do what you have to do. But taking jobs where you're moving around constantly and leaving your child for someone else to raise, not a smart move. Stop making everything be about the money. You can make money wherever you at and be stable at the same time and raise your child. I raised my children, went to college, worked, helped them with their homework, made them read the Bible, write essays, all that. By myself. Yes, by myself. So stop trying to pass the buck. Instead of feeling like you need to take a job here and there and everywhere because you feel like you need more money, start managing over the money that you already make. Cut back on some of your spending, unnecessary things that you don't need. Some things can actually be put on hold and you can take care of the responsibilities and those bills that you have to take care of. That should come first. And more importantly, I know this for myself, so I'm not just saying this. Paying your tithes and sowing seeds on good ground, not just sowing seeds on any ground, but good ground. You will reap a harvest. And God will never let any of your needs go unmet. I know what I'm talking about. And if you try it, you'll see a big difference in your life between the struggling and barely being able to make ends meet to seeing how God will step in and bring things in alignment for you. But again, it's the choices that we make. And I know some people say, I ain't got no money paying tithes, I got bills to pay and this and that. Guess what? If you don't have enough money to pay your bills, why not trust him with 10%? You already don't have enough. But if you trust God, he won't fail you. Because before one word of his return to him void, heaven and earth will pass away. And that's the word. So take time out. Think about the choices you're making. And decide today to make a change for the better. And to the people that's 30 years old and older that have responsibilities, life gon' life. Everybody gets behind in bills sometimes. Everybody has had their lights turned off at least once. But don't wallow in pity and make the enemy make you feel like you're a failure. And that you can't do this and you can't do that. Because you can. You can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. You just got to learn how to trust God and take him at his word. No matter what the situation look like, no matter what the enemy throws up at you, you can never lose your faith. Trust him without doubting him. And see what he does for you. He will open doors for you that you never expected to open. No, I'm not just talking. I'm telling you what I know. Been there, done that. And I learned how to stop playing the blame game and shifting everything on somebody else. Because I'm glad I learned early that life was going life. We got to take responsibility for our own actions and stop getting upset with people and getting an attitude, operating in the spirit of offense because people make you take your own responsibilities. Or if they tell you, you know, you don't have to do that. You can't do this. Well, I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, but then you don't want change. Because when people give you sound advice and sound wisdom of how to make your situation better, you want to reject the wisdom instead of asking them, how do I do that? Or even trying to do it. So yes, life is going to life. But again, it's about the decisions and choices that you decide to make. So why don't you decide today to take your own responsibilities and do life the right way instead of doing life the wrong way? And one of those steps to take the right direction and the right steps is to start trusting God. Get a relationship with God. A relationship with God can be one of the most important things. Well, is the most important thing that you can have in your life. You know why? Because the Holy Ghost will lead you and guide you. And when you give your life to God and you decide that you seriously want to change, He may separate you from some people that you've been knowing all your life. But the thing about that is, you're going to have to let that go and stop trying to keep doors open that God is trying to close. Because He sees down the road and he knows what's ahead of us. And we want to try to hold on to relationships and friendships. Sometimes they're not beneficial to us. Because where God may be taking us, they can't go. Everybody can't go with you where God is taking you in your next season. And another thing, when you decide to make that change, don't let anybody tell you, I remember when you used to do this, or you changed, or you acting funny. No, you're not acting funny. You just want to do something different because you're tired of life in the wrong way, and you want life the right way. I know it may sound rough or may sound harsh, but if you know me, you know I'm not one to sugarcoat anything. I've never sugarcoated anything. Why? Sugarcoating things, you can cause the demise of someone. You can cause somebody to fail because you sugarcoated things to them instead of giving them the truth and giving it to them straight. Giving people information straight and knowledge can help them come to realization really quick. Sorry. It'll help them to realize and see things in a different spectrum than you trying to babyfy them. And that's what the enemy wants us to do. He doesn't want us to come into knowledge of things of God because he wants us to stay stuck. And I will tell you again, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay in the situation that you're in. Because again, life is going to life. Life gives you lemon, what they say, make lemonade. You don't have to keep allowing the enemy to keep you in bondage. You can be free. And when you get free, stay free. You don't have to keep going backwards and forwards. No. Because life is going to keep lifing. It's going to come at you hard, heavy, quick, and fast. But like I said, it's the choices that you make. So today, decide to make the right choice when life starts lifing. Start complaining, grumbling, and mumbling about what you don't have. Because you can take the little that you have and you can make something happen with it. If you got gifts and talents, that's money you're sitting on right there. Especially if you know you're good at something. Don't let fear intimidate you and stop you from going forth in it. That may be the lifeline that God has thrown you to get you out of the situation you're in. And stay away from naysayers. People who always say, if I was you, or why you gonna do that? No, you're not mean. And I don't want to do it your way. I want to do it the way God is showing me to do it. Because God is giving me a way out. And I'm going to take it. Negative people are always going to have something negative to say. Surround yourself with people who will push you to be the best version of yourself that you can be. Especially when life starts lifing and you don't know whether to go to the left or to the right, your relationship with God comes into play right there. Because he will lead you and guide you. He will put you in the path of the right people that won't let you stay stuck. So, 1, check the environment that you're in and your mindset. 2, check the circle of people that you're around. 3, when you decide you're going to make that change, see who's going to push you to be a better you or who's going to help you stay stuck. 4, when God closed the door, don't open it. Stop putting commas where God is trying to put a period. Move forward. grow, and know who you really are. You are somebody. I don't care what you're dealing with or what you're going through right now. I promise you, you have a purpose. And if you follow God's plan for your life, you can walk in that purpose. Stop sitting around moping and groaning and complaining. Because at the end of the day, the choices that you make are going to determine how life is going to life for you. You can get high and drink every day, club and party all day, all night. Guess what? When you come back to reality and be sober-minded, life's still going to be lifing. Because that's just a temporary fix. It's not going to solve anything. And once you decide to give your life to God and you want to have a relationship with Him, it's not going to be easy. And it's not going to happen overnight. But as long as you try day by day, He can lead the way. So change your mindset. Stop operating in the spirit of offense when people try to give you knowledge and wisdom on how to do things. Sometimes just sit down and listen. Don't listen to respond, but listen to hear and apply it to your life. So when life starts lifing, you got the tools to use that you need to succeed. Change your negative mindset. And say to yourself, you know what? There's nobody in my family that's ever been a homeowner. Guess what? I'm going to be the first one to own a home. I'm going to be the first one to own properties. I'm going to leave a legacy. I want to be an asset to my family, not a liability. And one other thing that I want to say and address before I end. Mothers. Life is going to life. As long as you know you put what your children need in them, do not allow them to pull on your heartstrings or make you feel like you're their God, that you're supposed to fix everything in their life. The best thing to do, and what I learned to do, I learned to give my children to God and pray for them. I just pray for my children. I love them where they're at, but I learned how to pray for them. Because I know that a lot of decisions that our children make are because of the choices that they made. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty for not stepping in or running to their rescue or meeting every need that they have in their life. Because some of them just don't want to do anything. And they want to complain about lifing. Because they feel like if they call you, that you're supposed to give them this or pay that. No, that's not how it works. Get up off your behind. Go get a job. And stop pulling on your parents. As if they have not already done enough. True enough, we're going to always love our children and we're going to want to help them. But sometimes you got to take a step back and let them make a choice that will be beneficial to them without you having to be part of the equation for problems that you did not cause. You've done your part. So now just keep praying for them. They'll eventually figure it out when they get tired of lifing the wrong way. And they'll want to make a change. Life is going to life. Choose today whether you want to do life the right way or you want to keep doing life your way. If you see your way is not working, why not try the Father's way? He got your back, whether you feel it or not. Because he said he'll never leave us or forsake us. We forsake him. He doesn't forsake us or leaves us. So think about it. Because life gonna life. I'm your girl, Lavonda. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk About It. Somebody's got to say it. Remember, life gonna life. You just got to make the decision that you want something different. And you want something better. Have a great day.